Hello and welcome to a very special episode of an Earful podcast. I say it's very special. It's not like...
It's different from what we usually do.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That. So, in this episode, we are going to talk about the best albums
Of the year.
of 2021. How do you feel about 2021 being wrapped up now? I feel so weird about it. I still think I'm in 2018.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've done anything for 2 years.
Yeah.
But let's brush past why and shit
We're
like
not
that.
going to mention the word.
Do you know what? This was one of them when I did the list. I was like, there's not that many albums. And then I started looking through my Spotify properly and I was like, there's too many albums. Shit.
I feel like it was like a really like deep spiral once you realise like you had like in my head, for me, I had this idea of what the list was going to be. And I was like, okay, we're done, we're sold on that. And then as soon as someone else mentioned another album that I liked, I was like, oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, I think we had
another. I was like, holy shit.
We had a phase of just going, oh yeah, oh shit, yeah,
that's a great album.
Oh, yeah.
And Randy was like, well, I don't have a list anymore. It's just a list of albums.
It's a pile.
Pile. It's a problem.
It's a pile of albums.
As you can see from our nicely decorated set that we've makeshifted.
This is the weirdest intro.
Absolutely, but
I'm just not used to it. That's
no.
all.
What did it say? We got Matt Pearson. We got the OG.
Yeah, I'm filling in for Matty.
Yeah, because...
No, I was going to do this regardless. But this is the last... I should say this is the last episode of the year before...
Yeah.
2022. That sound wrong. I'm sorry. I just hesitated on it.
I think it's worth mentioning. Overall, this year's been great. We've had a few amazing episodes. Over.
Just a few.
Just a few. Just a tiny amount. But no, a massive thank you to everyone who has checked out an Earful over the past year.
Been a guest on it.
Interacted with it, shared it.
Whatever
you've done with it, it's been hugely appreciated. And we can't wait to get cracking with what the next year holds, what we've got in store. We've got some stuff in the works that we're going to talk about eventually.
Beginning of January?
Yes. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, beginning of January, another bonus episode.
I keep picking that up to drink and then I put it back down.
It's habit, there's a camera on you, you're like, fuck, act casual. But yeah, so we're going to do this, you've got like, we were going to do originally just top 5 albums of the year. Then there was so many, oh shit, yeah, that's an album that now there's the almost made it into my top 5 but didn't.
Yeah. And
what are you calling the...
So we've also got a category for... Say like a category, like it's a fucking award show. We've basically got a section where we're going to discuss albums that were released that didn't quite meet the expectations that we kind of had for it coming up to it.
I'm going to disappoint you. I have 0 albums for that category.
Oh my god, it's just me by myself.
Me and B just slating one album.
Just me setting fire to bridges.
Alright, we'll find out.
Should make a start. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to get started with the first 3 from each of our lists, and then we're going to go into like potential ones that nearly made the top 5, and then we're going to go into the last 2. So we're going to get started on number 5.
First.
What did you go for?
Oh, me first. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to throw yourself into it.
I can actually pick up this vinyl and say it's Bob Vylan's We Live Here.
Okay, cool.
Right. This was... I'm trying to think what year, because it's like 2021, but like... Wait, were we in lockdown 2020 as well? This is a real moment. Anyway, at the beginning of lockdown, I sort of got shown Bob Vylan and his track We Live There. I think I didn't shut up talking to you and Matty about it.
Spoiled.
Yeah, the album's a banger. It didn't disappoint. It's that, classic punk that I am really fond of.
Yeah.
Which you'll find out more later on. But
it has a crazy raw vibe to it.
It is just different. I don't want to say different, but it is like you say, raw vibe. The videos are fantastic.
Yeah.
He's been on tour supporting Biffy and fucking, Bob Vylan and Bobby have been smashing it. There's tracks on here like Pulled Pork, talking about the racial profiling that police do. So again, what Punk does is like address these issues and stuff. We Live Here is probably his most known track, and then he has also this year, as well as the album coming out beginning of the year, towards the end, put out a fucking single that was like felt like a 180, a slow opening acoustic guitar and like really nicely sang lyrics.
Awesome.
Called Pretty Songs or Pretty Little Songs. I could be butchering that, apologies, but yeah, that's my number 5. I felt like it should be higher, but there are other. This is the issue with the top 5.
Well,
isn't
that's it, because the way I went into it was then started thinking of, well, what if I had on repeat more?
Oh, okay. Is that how you've judged this?
Well, yeah, and how there's like certain albums, like I connotate certain parts of the year with it, and how it's kind of like how I relate to it, and like I said, overall how much I've like actually listened to it, because I think that's more of the thing of that. All these albums that we're going to mention have been amazing and great, but there's always going to be them where you've like constantly listened to it, and you've like clicked with it instantly and had that connection with it, as you should with music.
So what's your number 5?
So number 5, I'm going to go with Church's Scream Violence.
Nice.
Which, for me, I think it's probably the best album they've done to date. I think there's certain elements, like in terms of the songwriting, the composition and stuff like that they've done in this album, where it's made it really stand out.
Yeah.
I think in terms of the lyrics, I think it's like strong, it's relevant, kind of like fighting against this misogyny from like previous experiences of the singer. I mean, I think the whole relation to horror films in it, which has been awesome.
Do you know what? So we share a playlist that we like always add tracks into, and you've been adding Churches a lot to it, and I'm only just discovering them and like getting into them myself. So like, as soon as I saw your list, I was like, oh damn, yeah, Churches exist. I forgot about this. But yeah, this is a good. I mean, the production alone on their tracks,
it's incredible, and the fact that you got Robert Smith from The Cure on a song, holy shit.
I haven't they had John Carpenter remix. So.
Yeah, John Carpenter remix. So they're sitting high.
Yeah, that's ticking our boxes, isn't it? With horror.
Yeah, man. Like so, I mean, songs like Good Girls, How Not to Drown. They're really standout songs, and they've been definitely songs that have been just on repeat all year.
Yeah. Is it number 4 now?
It's number 4.
Look at this. This feels very quick. Right. Number 4 for me is Limp Bizkit Still Sucks.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. Oh!
So, like, this, obviously, huge hype about Limp Bizkit coming back. This album was a bit of a shock for me because it's 30 minutes long and that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, I think 3 tracks in a row were like 1 minute 50, and I was like, oh, no. I'm not worried about the content, but I just, you know what it's like, an album comes out and the way we consume albums, it's like, great, I've listened to it. Have you got anything new? And that's real bad. And especially for like, I'm not going to go into the hype of Limp Bizkit finally coming back, but through their songwriting, and Fred's a perfectionist as it is. He had his fucking house burned down in the California fires and lost the writing stuff.
Damn.
So, you know, and then they see themselves, I know Wes has said in a previous interview, they see themselves as a nostalgia band, so what's the point in bringing out anything new? But that opening riff, it's got like the perfect samples given from DJ Lethal, and if you want like a standout like emotional track, which is something Fred Durst does amazingly well, it's like in the to me they're what do you call it, underappreciated songs is like those, you know, real heartfelt ones. Goodbye being the last track on this album, so yeah, loved it. I can't wait for more. I'm sure they've got more written.
So would you say that it lived up to the expectation? Because obviously it's been a long time coming that they were going to release something.
I don't know. Like, part of me wants to be like, oh, I'm still listening to it.
Yeah.
So it deserves to be in the top 5.
Right.
But I am that person. I just want to consume more. But that's me being the
It's definitely something that's going to come up in the rest of this list, where the length of albums is a lot shorter than what I've personally previously been experienced to.
Yeah.
but I'll probably get to that in the
Yeah.
other albums. So my number 4 is Architects, for those that wish to exist. This album is so fucking good. That's it. Thank you. Good night. No, I mean, I think it says something that the amount of collaboration they've got on it, like Winston from Parkway Drive, they got Simon Neil from Biffy. Just in general, the actual writing of the album is insane.
Production's crazy, isn't it?
Fucking when Animals came out.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was gonna say in this when you brought up Architects. I'm not a big Architects fan. I'll hold my hands up and admit that. But Animals gets stuck in my head constantly, and it is on my playlist.
Gosh.
So, yeah, I think that's the one that shines through for me.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like they already had this position anyway, but I think it solidified them as like one of if not one of the biggest metal bands in the UK.
Yeah.
If it just in general that the complete not 180 approach that they had from like the previous album Holy Hell, but the fact that they've gone from more of like a middle of the road approach, but it still smacks hard. My God.
So like as an album as a whole, is it like the perfect blend?
I think it's a perfect blend because you get like ridiculous heavy moments, you get the moments that are a bit lighter. I think it's just the best of both worlds that they've done there. And I think it's like the perfect amalgamation of everything that they've done previously into one.
Right, okay. Maybe I gotta listen to this again and get into Architects a bit more.
It's my usual gin.
Okay, all right.
It's my usual one.
You've conveyed the vibes straight away.
Yeah, I've done that. Damn. Okay, so
right.
Number 3.
Jesus, going through these. Right, number 3 is a bit of a turn on the old genre that we sort of slot ourselves into, but
I know.
Easy Life, Life's a Beach.
Okay.
My mate Joe from work showed me this band, and Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's just I think that's one thing me and Joe like really get on about is how well a song's written and the production, and I hate the word but I use it all the time, the vibe of a track, and Easy Life get a vibe over straight away from start to finish. I love it. Like the singles are fantastic, but yeah, Life's a Beach as an album as a whole, I think this Easy Life were my most played artist this year. And I have a reason why they're not at number 1, because that sort of goes against your argument, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get to that later.
That's fair. That's okay. Cool. It's definitely one of them from when you show me Easy Life where I'm like, this is definitely Pearson's.
Yeah.
Vibe. We're going to say it again. Vibe. It's a rack of vibes. Yeah, I get that. So my number 3 is The May.
Nice.
So XOXO from Love and Anxiety in Real Time. That is a mouthful to say.
It is a mouthful.
Which we've got it here without knocking the mic. Oh.
Wreck the set. Let's go.
We're going to fuck this up.
Oh my good God.
So, this way. So, this in the lovely... It's even upside down. I am so sorry. That way. But to be fair, it's like...
Yeah, credit where credit's due.
Yeah. But...
For anyone listening, it's a yellow cover with a red circle and like a blur out of it. So Lunn could have held it anyway.
Yeah, and it would have been okay.
Yeah.
So Maine's one of my favourite bands, which is kind of built up from years upon years of listening to them. And if you're already familiar with the podcast, you already know those stories anyway. I was really hyped for this album. And it really paid off. I think there were certain aspects to it which is interesting where they've added more synthy vibes to it.
So I was going to mention this. Like, I'm not a Main fan until it was added in our playlist. And all of a sudden, like, it gives me a very, for fans of 1975 first album, this ticks those boxes, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like it being sticky. The simplicity.
I was going to say a song that gets stuck in your head, but I'm not going to do that.
I'm so annoyed that's not printed on a 45.
Yeah.
I was really hoping they were going to do it, and I checked it, and I was like, no, I said 33. Fuck. Never mind. No, I could go on with how many good songs are on that album. I think they've just nailed the So no, I think no. Whatever they do is just gonna be a home run. Like because whatever they release now will have. If it has that sort of vibe to it, it's just gonna guarantee the absolute bangers on it. But yeah. Now,
I agree.
Let's talk about some of the songs, some of the albums that almost made your list,
right?
But didn't.
Okay, well, I can kick that off pretty easily,
All right,
being the main XOXO from Love and Anxiety in Real Time, and it's only not in my top 5 because I'm new to the band and you know just discovering them. So, yeah. Do you want to go through some of your near misses, or shall I just list all my near misses?
Yeah, you go.
You know, clearly we know the format, guys. You know. All right. Others. Normandy, Dark and Beautiful Secrets. Jesus Christ, some of these songs are so well put together. Sleep Token, This Place Will Become Your Tomb, and Ice Nine Kills, Welcome to Horrorwood, Silver Screen 2. They're all a mouthful. Shorter album titles is what I want. Shorter album titles.
They've changed it from what it used to be with like Panic and Fall Out Boy, where it used to be like the lengthy title.
The one song.
Now it's the album.
Yeah.
You have to get the mouthful in the album. All right, so some of mine, without Matt going off straight away. Again, Sleep Talking. Yeah. Normandy. One that was brand new for me, that I did actually listen to quite a few times, was the Blues Indigo album by Tigress.
Yeah, this is again another band you were showing me, and the more I listen to, the more I'm like, damn, these are good.
I loved like the reaction to when I sent you the song to.
Oh yeah, we were on Discord.
Yeah, it was on Discord, and you were. I was like, just listen to this track, which was "Stop Beating on My Heart," and then you were like, "Oh, this is chill. This is nice."
And then the low end came in.
It came out. Jesus Christ! And it was so good. That I mean, there's some great moments on that album. The new song that they've just released, which I can't remember how you initialized it, but it's basically "I Want to Get Fucked Up."
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's essentially what it is. Other albums, Don Broken, Amazing Things. I don't think I've spent enough time listening to it to be like, this should be in the top 5.
I get that.
There are, as you could probably expect from Don Broco, it's a very Don Broco album. That's all that needs to be said about it. It's a great album. Again, Ice Nine Kills, Gino's Arrangements. Oh my god, what a song!
The videos as well are incredible.
Yeah, I think we need to give a shout out to just in general the
as horror fans as well. Like it just ticks the perfect boxes for us.
I think it ticks everything. Like the amount of time and effort that goes into it, I'm amazed that they've not been like sued. Or they must have done the best lawyers ever for like
that Pet Cemetery video is so
Jesus
well done.
Christ.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil.
Oh shit! Yeah, forgot about that one.
Other ones, Sleep Token. There are some incredible songs. I think it's again one of them albums that I just need to spend a bit more time with, just to familiarise myself with it a bit more. From the beginning of the year as well, Lonely the Brave.
Yeah,
I think some of the songs in that is incredible. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much else to say in that apart from like we've had enough time to be used to the album. We listened to it. Jack's vocals are incredible. Just the overall songwriting on that album's awesome. Another one for me that I kind of thought would have hit the top 5 but didn't was Oh Wonder's new album. But I think it's not that I didn't like it. Obviously, I also want to be mentioning it. But with it being more of a concept album than what I'm usually used to with them, I think, again, it's one of them I just
Can you explain this for me again and like anyone listening? Because I like Oh Wonder. I've told you I like the first album, that's pretty much it. What is the concept behind this one?
Okay, so the concept behind it is basically that they nearly split up as a band and as a couple as well. So the process of the album is basically from the rough patch at the start.
Right.
And it kind of melds itself out to the end of it.
Okay, cool.
But it kind of goes through different aspects of it, kind of like a relationship falling apart. So it's pretty dark and
bleak.
Yeah,
okay.
It's very Bon Iver, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which, from like just like some of the vocoder, like auto-tune vocals, and that, it very much has that vibe to it. But yeah, I think it's one of them I just need to sit with a bit more, just to kind of get around, like understand it a bit more. I think But yeah, that's where I am.
Those are the almost hitters in the top
Those
5.
are the almost hitters. Now, going to my other category that you've not got anything for, but I'm going to mention anyway.
Okay.
Now, just to clarify with this one, it isn't that it's a bad album. I think it's just because I had such a high expectation of it. And there's a few reasons why it didn't kind of hit the mark.
The tension's building here.
I know, right? So
putting the music.
For this, it is John Mayer's Sob Rock. And it pains me to say because I'm an absolute massive John Mayer fan.
Yep.
Awesome guitarist, songwriter, overall cool dude. But his album is 38 minutes long, and some of the singles that he released on it were released from fucking 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yes, like for example, New Light, which was out when I went watching him.
Right, okay.
Before lockdown.
Yeah.
When I was 25. I'm 27 now.
Okay, and that made the album this year.
So it kind of, he got released on an album which came out this year,
right,
which was already 38 minutes long.
Right, I see.
And
okay,
had 3 or 4 tracks that had already been released before the
rough,
album hype of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I was like expecting so much more material, because the last album we did before that was Rand. They had so many tracks in it, and we split up into 4 different EPs and released them bit by bit. And I think it's because of that, it kind of didn't meet the expectation for it. I love the vibe that he went for it, where it is this kind of like Toto 80s Eric Clapton vibe to it, which is awesome, but I just wish there was just a bit
more push in it. And
I feel horrible saying like,
I want more.
Oh, this isn't enough.
Please,
your creativity's not enough for
Please,
me.
sir, can I have some more?
You want more songs? But yeah, that's where it sits with me. And maybe it's, again, one of them where I need to appreciate it a bit more and understand it as a piece of art that you need to listen through and etc.
Mate, if that's how you feel, don't give excuses.
That's where I sit with it in a minute. I just wish there was just a bit more to it rather than songs that were from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So let's get to the last 2.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
So how hard was it trying to get to the last 2 on yours? Was it kind of like a make or break, or was it...
If I could have a joint first, 1 and 2 would be it.
Okay.
And I'll be straight up with you. Number 2 should be number 1 as well.
Okay.
So, do you want me to go? You know?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Second in my list is Holding Absence, The Greatest Mistake of My Life.
Okay.
I want to say, obviously, I'm biased because we've got to speak to Ash before, and lovely dude and everything.
Yeah, shout out to Ash.
But I'm not being biased because some of the artists we've spoke to in the past hasn't made me love their albums more or less, because I've spoke to artists on this podcast, go listen to them, and I haven't listened to their albums because I'm just like, it's not my thing, but I appreciate what you do kind of thing.
Fair.
But like this as a whole, this album's incredible. Like every song is amazing, so well written. Obviously, we've gone into that, but I think as a package altogether, like Beth's artwork combined with the songwriting of all of them, and then getting to see this live as well when we got to watch Holding Absence a couple months ago. Yeah, fucking amazing. Like it was just a party of a gig. It just made me love the album even more so. Yeah. And then the videos are perfect as well. So
I think as an overall package, it's been incredible what they've came up for it. Like, because it just looks so unique. Yeah. In a time where everything's like black.
Well, not just that. Like for Holding Absence, it was a time of black and monochrome everything, wasn't it? So like, to go from that to this, amazing. Yeah. This album's first for me as well. Bear that in mind, but it is number 2.
Right. Okay. So my number 2 is Spirit Box Eternal Blue. Now, this is one of them albums where I was really dreading it coming out because of it being... There was such a hype behind Spirit Box, from Holy Roller being the main one and the Circle With Me. And I didn't want it to be one of them where the album came out and it just didn't live up to an expectation that you built so high. But to my surprise, hello coffee machine.
Good God.
Yeah. Okay, but to my surprise, oh my God, do your thing. Thank you.
Oh, it's brilliant.
That's staying in. All right, so yeah, and to my surprise, it was an absolute bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, just in terms of the expectations where I had for it, were they already mentioned they wanted to be a bit more versatile in terms of like the songs that they released with it, rather than just being all balls to the wall. That they wanted to have something where it kind of showed off Colin the Plant's actual vocal range on it, rather than just being screaming. And I think it does it really effectively. I mean, there's like the song that it starts with, Sunkiller. The fact that it blends from clean vocals, and then the last part of the song, it just goes for it. Obviously, mentioning Holy Roller, the Summit, it's got some awesome guitar parts in it. It's one of them where it's really versatile and it doesn't stick to one thing, and it kind of shows them off as a band. So yeah, that's why it's sitting at number 2.
Nice.
Also, as well, Sam Carter fucking features in the song. Fuck me, it is ridiculous.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that.
Also mentioning the drums and the bass in this as well. I feel like I should mention them as well. Are fucking ridiculous as well. Like, just overall, the musical knowledge and fucking skills in that band are just insane.
It's a good number 2.
It's a good.
Do you know what? I've not even got it in my list because I don't listen to it enough.
Oh, do go back to it.
Yeah, I might have to.
Gotta go back.
Like, doing this list, I'm looking at yours like, damn, I should listen to more shit. Right, my number 1 is Idol's Crawler.
I fucking knew
No
it.
surprise, yeah.
Knew it.
No surprise. So, the struggle I had with 1 and 2, Holding Absence and Idols, is Idols' album came out maybe a month ago at max, maybe a couple of weeks ago from the time of recording. So I've not had long to listen to it, but it's a blend of like my favorite worlds, which is Idols, punk and noise rock, and Kenny Beats, rap, hip hop, and he's like multi-genre anyway, and then they've come together, which is amazing. I love this album start to finish. It's like some stuff like tracks like Car Crash. It's Mark messing around with effect pedals to get the sound of cars revving. And the thing I love about this band is it's almost like, the keep it simple, stupid saying. It screams it because every track's so well done. But then I listen to like something that I know, like drum beats, and I'm like, it's simple, but it works so well and serves the song. I've not stopped listening to this album.
So with Crawler, as I've mentioned to you previously, I think this is the first time where there's been an Idols album that I could really like digest properly. In the terms of that, it's not like I don't rate Idols as a band. I think for me though, it's just not my thing.
I think it's the genre, isn't it? But then we've got some tracks on here like what's
The
it
Wheel
called?
is.
The Wheel is
Jesus Christ.
one of my favorites.
Is a standout. Like even the first track, he sounds like fucking the dude, the singer of
Thrice. Yeah, I remember you saying.
I apologise for not remembering the name of the vocalist of Thrice, but you get my point if you listen to it.
But like it everything hits like almost sort of like a different genre.
Yeah.
But is staying to like the noise rock punk that they are as well, because like tracks like When the Lights Come On sound like very gothic and Joy Division style, and then you've got like Beachland Ballroom, which is like a slow swing track. The whole track I fucking love start to finish. And then Joe's lyrics never fail to amaze me. So stuff in The Wheel is addressing alcoholism, and there's other tracks taking ownership. It's what Idols do, address things like this. And still going to be on repeat for the rest of the year. Maybe all next.
I'm not surprised with you.
It's getting ordered on payday. Can't wait for that vinyl. I had a year of, I'm going to tell people now, I had a year of being like, I'm not buying vinyl. Vinyl fucking sucks. It's killing us all. It is killing you, but you know. And now, like, I've come to, and I'm like, I'm going to die anyway. I may as well speed the process up.
Oh, fuck me.
Order more vinyls, you know. So, yeah, next one is definitely Crawler.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, my number one.
Number one for you.
We've already mentioned, but it is the lovely Boyles in Holding Absence. Greatest mistake of my life. As we've already mentioned, there are some incredible songs on that album. For me, I could not stop listening to it when it was first released. I remember it must have been the first weekend of, sorry to mention it, coming out of restrictions.
Oh, good.
And
good God.
And me and the other half, we drove somewhere and we had In Circles on. I remember that in particular, and I've been like, fuck, this is an amazing song.
Yeah, it is.
And just like from what we've already heard through Ash, which kind of makes us a bit biased, but fuck it. But just like the process and like just in terms of the recording of it, we're like recording cymbals separate to the actual body of the drums, and it just punches so much more. It has that impact to it.
Yeah, huge difference.
I won't babble on too much because obviously we've discussed this, but man, it's just a solid album that just a release and being like, yes.
And it's packaged so well.
Mate, it looks awesome. I got the purple one. Thanks, HMV. But yeah, that concludes our list of our top 5 albums of 2021. Now, is there an album that you're most looking forward to being released next year?
Next week? Ooh, tough. Next year. Do you know what? I don't even know who's scheduled up to release albums at the minute.
Always.
What about yourself?
For me, it's going to be obvious. It's going to be Paramore.
Shocker. Yeah, they're teasing stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, if PMOR 6 comes out next year, holy shit. That's worth mentioning. Oh fuck, she did like another solo album this year, which is like
really?
more of the like, acoustic-y vibe to it, which is pretty cool. Sorry.
Almost hit her, or not listen to it enough?
It's gonna sit in the almost hit her because I didn't listen to it enough.
Right.
Sorry again. Yeah, I think that's everything.
We do have other people's.
We do. It's not just about us. This podcast. It's about other people too.
Oh God, don't make it cheesy. But let's give a shout out to some people. We asked on Instagram what your album of the year was. So we got Ben Arrington of Horror Hangout, also Spirit Box, Eternal Blue.
What?
Jenny Rose, Dark and Beautiful Secrets by Normandy, as we've previously mentioned.
Absolutely.
I feel like I've got to once again say this. I need to go back and listen to more albums start to finish and be like, yeah, that's the one. Times Like Pete, Teenage Wrist, Earth is a Black Hole, which I've never heard of, but you have, haven't you?
I've heard it, but I didn't realise it was that band. Which is even worse.
No, it just means we've got more to listen to. Yeah. This is a good thing.
I think it's worth shouting out as well. Shout out to Daniel P. Carter for being on it this year with the absolute bangers on the rock show, because that's half the time where I discover most of the music that I've unearthed this year.
I need to do that, is like take time to try and find new stuff.
Yeah.
Times Like Pete also says special mention to Sleep Token, so there we go. We've got Josh Daniel Carter, chapter and verse.
What a boy.
Not 100% sure, but the Melodic Blue by Baby Keem is mad good. I've only heard one track with Kendrick, but you're not sure on Kendrick or Baby Keem.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before.
I think, like, to give context, it's not sort of like the genre I particularly go to, but I am making an effort to try and get a better understanding of that.
Yeah. My friend Foxon says, for those that wish to exist by Architects. Already had it. He also mentioned my album, but I'm going to dismiss that. But Foxon, no, I love you.
Check out spaces.
And then my mate Joe, who I mentioned about Easy Life, has also said Easy Life, Life's a Beach. And Silk Sonic, An Evening with Silk Sonic, which I forget exists, which is the Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars.
Which is incredible.
The only track I've listened to was they had a collaboration with Bootsy Collins and Thundercat all in one, and I was like, oh, I have to listen to that. We were
talking. It's the Smoking at the Window I've heard.
There is another track, and Joe told me it sounds like the opening to a Tarantino movie. I don't know what he called it, so what the track name is. Let's get it up. Oh, it's Fly As Me sounds like the opening of a Tarantino movie.
Okay.
It isn't wrong. So if you need something to listen to, definitely listen to that Tarantino opening. But loads of good shout outs for albums of the year.
If you want something for your New Year's, listen to Fly As Hell.
Yep, there you go. But that's all the people that chucked in suggestions.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing so.
Massive thank you to everyone who's submitted what their album of the year was. Again, a massive thank you to anyone who has shared, supported, reacted, even just listened to 3 seconds of our podcast. It has been hugely appreciated. I think this has been one of them years where there's been times where we've been like burnt out with it, but it's been worth sort of...
I mean, I can't talk. I stopped interviewing people. I was like, I've had enough. I'm done,
you became our
guys.
producer, it's fine. And you'll be back next year. Yeah, so a massive thank you to all the support. Hopefully next year we can build up even more on that. Bring you another horror fest.
Hell yeah, another horror fest.
Another horror fest.
Suppressed it for a moment.
Suppress the trauma for another year. We'll try and be on top of it this year and it'll not be a mad
No, it'll be better. This year was good.
Yeah, we did better. We did better.
That means next year's going to be even better.
Even better. We even more on top of it than we was
starting in February.
Exactly, starting now.
I do already have the list. I know
you do.
It's exciting.
I know.
Exciting, guys.
But otherwise than that, I might as well
get it.
There
it is.
There we go. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next year.
Hey.